Well, we're going to start going this way. Okay? And sometimes we can start inside or start here.
Okay.
Outside, you'll see that our cross is in the shape of a monstrance, which is a vessel that holds the Eucharist. Okay, this being Holy Eucharist, that's very fitting that it's a monstrance. It wasn't always that way, but several years ago, that was redone, and now it's the shape of a monstrance. Okay. Okay, it has two levels. Okay, one for infants. Okay, and one for adults. Okay. What's really nice is that during the 10:30 Mass, sometimes there'll be a baptism. Okay. There's also some on Sunday nights, or Sunday afternoons that are private, but the ones on 10:30, they have it during the Mass, and the whole parish is involved, and that's a really nice community, and the kids love that. So, if there's a lot of people in the atrium, I won't start with those two things. I'll come in here and start if there's not a lot of people in here. If there's a lot of people still hanging out in here, then I'll start out there. Okay. Okay. We don't have pews. Okay. We have chairs, and the reason is because this space initially was designed to be multi-purpose and have different things, and because it was multi-purpose, so that we could still have some reverence. There's no tabernacle here. Okay. The Eucharist has its own special chapel. Okay. So there's no tabernacle behind the altar, and you'll notice that the decorations were in purple right now because we're in Lent. Okay, but the ministry that does the decorating, I forget the name of it right now. They do just a phenomenal job. For Easter, you'll notice all kinds of Easter flowers. For Advent and Christmas, there's a wreath that's hanging. So really, they do a fantastic job of really decorating it. The other thing, the corpus actually is not the original corpus. Initially, there was a different corpus that was a little heavy, and they redid it so that this corpus, it's done by an artist, an artist who's pretty famous and whatnot. You notice the stained glass windows, and you can't see them at night here, okay? But the stained glass windows have images of wheat for bread, grapes for wine, okay, and then people and musical instruments. That's, talk about, it basically represent our community involvement. The upper tier represents the heavens and saints watching down on us. Okay? They were done at different times. They weren't done initially when we started. We're going to walk this way. The stations across in here were designed and carved by a parishioner that has passed since, Joseph Pilecki. He designed the Stations of the Cross. We have Stations of the Cross Fridays in Lent, right after daily Mass. So around 9:45 we do Stations of the Cross. And then Good Friday we have it outside, if weather permitting, when we'll do it at like 7 o'clock Good Friday outside. But if not, we do it inside here. We're going to go into the daily chapel now. Lights are to this side here. Lights are to this side. The second switch will turn on just some lights. Any switch will work, really. This is our daily chapel. There's daily Mass Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock. Except Tuesday is a communion ceremony, a communion service. The stained glass windows on this side represent 5 of the sacraments, starting from left to right: matrimony, reconciliation, Eucharist, anointing of the sick, and holy rules. Okay. Holy Thursday, they bring in more plants, and this is kind of transformed into the Garden of Gethsemane. And we have overnight adoration on Holy Thursday in here. Adoration is held first Friday of the month from 6 to 7 every month in here, except Good Friday, I guess. I'm not going to talk as we go out, but across the way is a small chapel. That's a chapel of the Blessed Sacrament. The Holy Eucharist is held there. The tabernacle is there. There are kneelers there, so people can pray. And there are 2 people in there, and that's why I don't talk in front of it. We talk here about it, and then we'll go beyond it. Okay. I point out sometimes Mary on the wall. There's a kneel in front of her, and there's a reason why I point that out. So if you want, you can go out towards the sacristy and I'll be out that way. So this is our reconciliation chapel, okay? Reconciliation Saturdays from 3:30 to 4:30, or by appointment, okay? We only have one priest, and so it's really taxing for him to be here, just standing waiting when not enough of us really take advantage of the sacrament. Now, Father will give confession anywhere, so you could always just grab him even, or you can set an appointment, and he's always giving, you don't have to go in here. It has a divider, and he'll be in there, and he won't know you coming in now. But he is great to do confession with, and so you can grab him and do it anytime. Okay. In this part of the we see our sixth sacrament of baptism, and two of our saints, our gospel writers. The Gospel of Matthew and the Gospel of Mark. Mark has the line and the media card. The media card is here, and it's free to take advantage of. There's DVDs to take out, CDs, books, all kinds of printed material, and there's a slot on the other side where you can fill out the card and put it in there, and you turn the item from this side. Okay? So that's the media card. Mary is designing card by Joseph Pleck, the same artist, and she was originally designed for over where that picture was, okay? But she's moved around, Father has moved around in different spots, okay? So right now and then this is Matthew.
That's Matthew.
And Mark. Mark is the lion. That's how you know which one's which. Okay. And there's a gospel saying that goes with each of them up there that you can't see it right.
On the stained glass.
On the stained glass windows.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll talk about the baptism here and baptism fonts, and if we start in there, this is where I would talk about the baptisms and the cross. And then we come over here to this side of the atrium, and we see our seventh sacrament, confirmation, and the other two gospel writers, Luke and John, John being the eagle.
Okay. And confirmation's right in the middle.
Confirmation's in the middle.
Okay.
And then again, there's a saying on each side corresponding to the gospel writers. And the sayings kind of fit with Holy Eucharist. Okay.
Which one's which?
This is Luke. So this is Luke, and this is John, and that gospel saying is John.
Okay.
That tree is a tree of life, and that represents all the people that donate to help fund the expenses for the expansion. And that's our Hoffman Hall and our education center. We used to have hospitality out here. Okay, and there's a small kitchen we're going to go past. And hospitality here, we used to hang out here and have hospitality out here, and that's what kind of made us really fall in love with this church. Is just being and hanging out here and talking with friends and stuff like that after Mass. And you'll find people stay after in a connector for half an hour at least.
Yeah.
This is the parish office. So if you need anything, your phone calls will come into here. If in your packet there's a registration sheet, okay, for new parishioners, and you can even just slide on the door. It's open Monday through Friday. Okay, so it's not open on weekends, but you can slide stuff on the door. That's where we used to have hospitality out there. And sometimes I'll tell that part of the story here. Depends on how we'll run it.
Yeah, we used to have hospitality out there, and that was
the kitchen for that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this is our hero room where our youth ministry, our high school students and 7th and 8th grade pre-high school kids will meet. They meet once a week, and then they have some bigger events once a month usually. Now, if we have, this is where we can split. Okay. If we have no kids and we have seniors or something like that, then we can go that way, okay, and she'll have the hall, okay? And then if we have kids, we'll go this way and show the education way, because kids are back there. Now, either way, when I stop here, I talk about, this is where children's word is. So when your kids leave at Mass, that's where they go. In this room to the right is the children's terracing room. It's a meeting room. We use it for Knights of Columbus, for acts, and other things. But the children's word uses that room and one the other room. The deacon's office is here, and the music director's office is there. And then beyond there is our Hoffman Hall, and that's a big room where we have all kinds of big functions. We'll have Knights of Columbus, we'll have breakfasts, we'll have dinners there. We have our lift session there. I'll talk more about that later. It's a religious education program, so we have lots of big events there.
basket.
So usually you'll have kids or something like that, so we go this way. We're going to go through the cafe, okay, and then to the other side and talk. But it depends. At night, 6 o'clock, you don't need to do that because it's quiet in here.
Yeah.
There's no hospitality. But usually I'll go to the other side and then talk about it. Okay. And here we have our ministry tables, different tables for sign-ups. So, and usually I walk right past them and then talk about it on the other side because it's noisy. Like I said, if you do it at 10:30, you can't do it here.
Right.
You know. So now at 6 o'clock, Mass, okay, this is closed off, okay? But our kids zone is back there. And if they have little kids, I'll show them what kids zone is. They may know where it is. If they don't, I let them know. You know, because sometimes they have their kids in Mass. They don't know that they can drop them off there. So when I show them, I'll show them just the hallway of classes, okay? And there's another meeting room in there. The Pope room, it's a comfy couch room. And we have some meetings, small group meetings in there. Men of St. Joseph meets in there. And
What meets in there? I'm sorry.
Men of St. Joseph. It's a
Okay.
men's
Oh,
program.
Men of St. Joseph. Okay.
Yeah. So our religious ed program is a little different. Okay. We do a religious ed once a month. They start with Mass, and then after Mass, they go into Hockman Hall. Okay. And the families together, and they have light meal, and then the grade kids go off into the classrooms back here. And then the high school kids and adults stay in Hockman Hall, and everybody gets the message at their level, okay? And it's much more dynamic type religious ed than when we were kids, okay? And there's stuff about that in your packet too. This space here, in the nice weather, we'll have picnic tables out there. This space was redone by one of our Eagle Scouts. Jacob Forrest actually redid it and made this place, this space more useful for us. And then we'll end up in the cafe in which you can have hospitality. And like I said, we'll be there for half an hour is nothing. You know, today I left at half an hour after Mass, and there were 20 cars in the parking lot. Well, that's only on this side. That wasn't even on that side. You know, so and then we have our ministry tables, and like I said, they. You have sign-ups there, Knights of Columbus, St. Vincent de Paul. There's all kinds of things that our Lenten soup is there. So all kinds of things that whatever's going on in the future is going to have a sign-up table there. Okay. Any questions? Yeah. And at the very beginning, you would introduce yourself too. That's the one thing I didn't go over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.